2016 and beyond. Jim, are you out there? Jim.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate being here. It's a great opportunity. Cool. Thank you all very much for letting us come and present to you while you have lunch. That's always a good thing. I have actions or anything like that. I'm actually going to share with you some research data. We are crazy, insanely focused on customer success at Salesforce. And we have an organization called Salesforce Research. And we do tons of research all year long in lots of different industries about our customers, and not just our customers, but people like our customers. So we do a lot of surveys, we do a lot of analysis to try to find out what's working and successful. So I'll tell you a little bit about the sample size of the folks that we interviewed for this report. They're from all over the world, and our goal was we wanted to find out what's working out there. Because obviously we have lots of customers, and not everybody has the same success, right? Some customers are just killing it. They're experiencing great results. And other customers, maybe they're not as successful. So what do they have in common? We wanted to look at the commonalities between those who were successful and those who weren't. We also heard a lot of buzz, and we were very much contributors to this buzz of customer journey. And everybody was pivoting to customer journeys. But are they getting any results from that? So we were very focused on learning about what's working from a customer journey strategy perspective and so forth. And then, of course, we wanted to drill into each of the channels. So whether it's ads, email, mobile, social, e-commerce, what's going on within each of those channels? What are the latest developments? What tactics are working? What tactics are not working? So that's a little background. What we did differently about this report this year is that we had added a bunch of questions, and some of you may have even been involved and may have got surveyed for this report, but we had people self-identify themselves based on several sets of criteria that we had broken down when we did our research, and we saw successful brands. So we loaded a bunch of questions in there that around several areas that would allow us to identify who high performers were, who moderate performers were, and low performers. And what happened was the data kind of bubbled up around these three groups around return on investment. So if you're having high ROI and you're very satisfied with your investments, that was a clear group that distinguished themselves from the rest of the data set. So the way it broke down was 18% of the respondents, of the 4,000, were identified as high performers. 68% moderate, 14% underperformers. So we asked a bunch of other questions. We said, what other attributes do these high performers have in common? And these three themes came out today. And it's funny because a lot of these themes really, you actually talked about these on stage in some of your presentations. But one of the very first ones was executive team commitment. So we had some questions in there. Are you getting the budgets that you believe that you need to be successful? Are you getting cross-channel access or cross-organization access? Are people letting you work together? Those kind of things. And then on the last one here, this is a big telltale attribute. How agile are you in your marketing organization? How effective are you at responding to customer needs? How quickly are you able to test and iterate and deliver new and innovative approaches to your marketing? People who said that they, along this category around marketing agility, who said that they felt like they were very high in this area, 23 times higher than low performers. So that area was a big disparity. People who were not high performers, they were low performers, were not able to be very agile. So that tells me something about what it takes to be successful. There were two overriding themes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you three key takeaways today, but there are two overriding themes of all the data, and it came out today. The panels, the gentleman from Accenture, everybody that was talking about this, but digital is still king. Resources are moving from traditional still to digital, And customer experience is the new holy grail. We cannot do siloed marketing anymore. We can't do single channel. We've got to really understand the whole journey that a customer takes in whatever segment that we're focused on. So those two overriding themes. So a little bit about the data behind it. We're going back to 2011. If we look and we asked questions about where your budget is today, and we're about 70-30 right now, traditional to or digital to traditional. And we look forward, we're seeing even more increase happening. So it's going to be about 75-25 projected budget allocation over a 10-year period. Customer success is the holy grail. The data that really hit home here. How do you measure success? And there was a big, a newcomer in the data set in terms of responses. For the first time in the 3 years that we've done this report, customer satisfaction was actually listed more often than revenue growth and customer acquisition, which were always either back and forth 1 and 2, depending on if you were B2B, B2C. So all of a sudden now, customer customer experience, is now a major metric. That's what the data is telling us. So the 3 key takeaways, what are we going to talk about? Like I said, the report's 69 pages long. I'm not going to read it all to you, but 3 key themes that I think come through. Top teams, they're aligning around customer experience. The org chart is getting torn up. They're trying to change the way they do business, and you can't do it in silos anymore. The second one, AI-powered email, and I just picked one channel because it's the most commonly used, but AI, artificial intelligence, powered email is driving major results and driving revenue. And then the third one, advertising on social platforms is exploding. And the previous conversation that you were just having about first party, second party, and third party, when I asked, I did Facebook advertising when it was first available. And it was amazing, in terms of what it could tell you about, people. But it sucked at conversion, right? It just wasn't very good. Now, the reality is, now that we can take our first-party data, our known people, and we can connect it with people out on Facebook and in social media, now we actually have a tremendous advantage, and it's the fastest-growing area in advertising right now. So, takeaway number 1, top teams aligning around customer experience. We asked them several questions around this, but this particular data point came across when we compared high performers, moderate performers, and low performers. But we asked them, are you implementing digital transformation company-wide, and are you leading a customer CX project across the business? It was just really disparate. Look at that, high performers, 63-8. On the CX implementation, 58-8. So high performers definitely driving customer experience initiatives in their organization. Not many companies have a customer journey officer, a customer experience officer. I've seen a few actually popping up. But marketing tends to be the trailblazer when it comes to driving success in this area. When we ask them, hey, all of you customers who are doing customer journey strategies, what kind of results are you getting? What metrics are you looking at? And these were the ones that came up. Customer engagement, that's an old one. We've always looked at that. But customer willingness to recommend products. 70% of folks said that were doing customer journey strategies saw that this stat was impacted. Revenue growth, customer SAT scores, lower customer churn. So these are the metrics that the high performers are looking at when it comes to driving customer journey success. They're not just looking at opens and clicks, right? They're looking at big time results in terms of how do you evaluate a relationship with a customer. One of the really cool stats that came out today, which wasn't planted or anything, but from Discover, that was a great example of a customer journey strategy where they were doing inactive card holders who hadn't used their card before, and once they implemented a customer journey strategy, they saw 7x results as a result of doing a customer journey strategy. So that's really cool. Great example. A cool customer that I like to talk about, a brand that's doing some really amazing things around customer journey strategy, is Lifetime Fitness. Anybody familiar with Lifetime? Anybody a member of Lifetime Fitness? All right, cool. So when you joined Lifetime Fitness a few years ago, everybody got the same email, the same welcome series, 7 days apart. And they were telling you all the awesome things about Lifetime Fitness. And it was all about them and all the things that you could experience at their club. Well, they implemented in the last year or so a completely different approach. They said, look, we ask people all this data about themselves, why they work out, what are their fitness goals. We know that the CrossFitter guy who's lifting tires in his spare time and the 65-year-old, grandma who's on the treadmill don't have the same exercise goals, and we shouldn't talk to them the same way. And they also realized that, look, our club is all about an experience. People actually physically go there, and we need to make that a habit. Because if we fall out of the habit, we won't keep renewing our subscription. So they decided to leverage the actual experience, the at Health Club experience, with their mobile app. So they were able to take the data that they had about their customers, why they work out, when they work out, get them to download the mobile app, and then when they actually get to the gym, they don't like to be called a gym, they're a health club, I always call it a gym. But when they get to the health club, they're triggering notifications, alerts to them, letting them know about when their class is about to start, or letting them know that the child care center, the hours it's open, and they're basing that mobile push message based on, do you care about child care? Do you use that service? So they've been able to take what they were doing before and increase their open rates by their old email that is everybody got the same one, 80% increase. So if you can get 80% of anything, that's always good, right? So we typically we're pushing for ones or 2 points. So in terms of return on their investment, 154%. Pretty good. I'm always a fan. My mentor learning, when I learned product management, product marketing in this business, said, Jim, your opinion, while interesting, is irrelevant. Bring your own data to the party, and then we'll have something to say to you. So I like to look at facts and data, and I think that's a pretty cool one. The second one, AI-powered email. Guys, we're all smart. Everybody in here, I bet we could get an all-star team and crush people in Scrabble. I bet we could kill it on Jeopardy. There's a bunch of smart people in here. Guess what? None of us are smart enough. The customer's moving too fast. The customer's got all, I loved the non-linear, example that we had earlier, from Home Depot. All of that, the marketer thinks that, oh yeah, you're just going to click through and you're going to follow this path. No, you're not. You're going to think about Roomba and then you're going to buy a different brand. I mean, we're not that smart. So we can't keep up with them. So we looked at email ROI and noticed that in just 1 year, from 2015 to 2016, we saw 54% of marketers saying that they achieved ROI jump to 79. And then obviously everybody knows that it works, so everybody's doing it. So we said, okay, why the increase? Well, we're getting better at it, right? I think other than getting married, the more you do it, the better you get. So we drilled into the high performers and said, hey, high performers, what are you doing in email that's differently from everybody else? And we said, okay, are you personalizing the email fields with subscriber data? Like, hey, Jim, welcome, things like that. Basic email functionality I was doing 11 years ago, 12 years ago? Percent, first name, percent, right? Super simple. These are the high performers, remember, the 18%, right? Only 63% of them are doing that.